and that means he has a PhD somewhere, supposedly he will give us details of that to work, but it's handling one of the brains in this store, this area, who feel proud of as a church and as a community. So I very much welcome, and this is the book local class. We have staff of this institution. We have the hospital administrator and the hospital director. The director is here with us, and the number of staff members, and doctors here. And we have a number of say something, class.
I'm not sure after 2 days of having a cold, am I still infectious? I have controlled it. Just to be sure. I am honored, I'm humbled by Father Tito and the rest of you to invite me to share some few ideas with you with regard to what is happening in our community. I've been here most of the time. I have worked in this place, except for the young ones. The older people, members of this community know me. 1987, for about 3-4 years, I worked in this hospital. So, the hospital is not new to me. As I established that church, St. Charles Ruanga, this was one of my my communities. And before that church, we used to pray at the, now they have changed it. It was clinical officers school now. They have given it some rosy names in order to attract more people. Yeah, you have them. So we used to pray in their hall there. So the geography of this place has changed over the years. And one of my biggest disaster days was on Thursdays. I would go into the TB ward. At that time, we were not provided with masks. So you would just go depending on the support from above. And some of these patients would like to talk to you very close. No protection, nothing. But I survived that. But every Wednesday evening, I would begin to shiver, thinking of what would happen on Thursday. And it took me quite some time to know what happens to me on Thursdays. I had a Teresa sister, now deceased, Sister Amelia was my assistant, and we talked about it. And she said she shared the same experience. My psychology at that time was still young, so I said there is a correlation between my thinking of going to him on Thursday and my feeling unwell on Wednesday. So somewhere, somehow, I knew these things were related. And perhaps some of these questions are what excited me to learn more about human behavior and how this human behavior affects the way we act, the way we talk, the way we work. So that describes me. I am a feeler. I feel for people. And that closeness with the medics also has helped me as a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist, but as a psychologist, to understand what the medics go through. I have had an opportunity also to work as a CEO of Vilka Hospital for about 4 or 5 years. And I was a leader, chief executive officer. That's a big name, isn't it? So I had all the medics below me. I would tell them what to do. Even if I didn't know, I would first study and then give them instructions. And some of them would be very surprised that I'm not a medic, but I know medicine than some aspects that they do. In every stressful work environment, like a hospital, conflict is very normal. And I often told them that if there is nobody reporting that so and so has not greeted me, then there's a problem in the community. Conflict is a normal happening in the community, even in our families. If there is no conflict, maybe nothing is going on. Then there is no growth. If an adolescent child does not tell, Mom, I don't want to eat, I want to watch TV in my room, that shows the adolescent child is growing to independence. So the request that I speak about conflict, I want to talk about it, not the theories of conflict, but to share with you a few experiences where conflict for leaders is opportunity for growth. Thank God, Kigambo is dead. Because out of that conflict, out of that incident, new ideas are being generated. I was in a neighboring district around here, which I won't mention. They invited me to go and talk about conflict in the hospital. And one of the things I observed among the management, there was no local person. They were all foreigners. From our discussions, I recommended that you put another person on management and tell me after 3 months what happens. They have already told me, things are okay now. Because the other workers were suspicious of what management talks. So leaders, when they embrace conflict as opportunity for growth, things become better. This community, the Fr.Dr.Pascal community, is known for peace. Known for peace. But it's conflictual in its own subtle way. The incidents that have taken place in the past year, including the death of Kigamba Rally, including what is happening in your school here. We were in Winga with Amot the other day. It is great opportunity that something is happening. And because of those conflicts, there is growth. This week, the head of state is going to be in Kegego. He won't be speaking here because there is peace. There is no conflict around here. And therefore, maybe there is no development. There is no growth. People close over there, they tell us, if he comes here, he will open what? One of the wards here? They have all been open. Which farm? Anyone with pigs and piglets? Because these days he's visiting even at least if you can't have something to be visited, at least have 3 piglets. There is nothing here. We are peaceful. So that's why when I watch conflicts, pockets of conflict beginning to come up, I can positively say maybe people are beginning to think, maybe we are beginning to interact more, maybe we are beginning to challenge one another, maybe we are beginning to challenge the status quo, and therefore Rotarians as leaders, I'm glad you have taken this opportunity to utilize it, to think. And those people who are working in the hospital, they're beginning to see we have leaders. Minus the PS, there are some leaders here. Where are the leaders? Are there any leaders who are unpaid? Are there leaders who do not get transport refund? Are there leaders who do not look for sitting allowances? Those are the leaders you Rotarians are. Do you want to clap for yourselves? Yeah, because one of the biggest disasters that we have in this country is exactly that. I should be paid for each and everything that I do. You have even the formula for calculating mileage. You have the formula for calculating overtime hours. You have the formulas for calculating weekend allowances, per diems. In the medical school, I don't know if there is such a thing as, how do you call that? Finance, what is it? Where you have to calculate each and every hour. Rotarians are coming here to teach us that you can work even when you are not paid. And we thank those medics, doctors, nurses, and others, paramedics, who, salary or no salary, they feel a passion for the patient. Unfortunately, when the community comes out to you, they do not know that maybe you didn't have breakfast. And that can be a reason for creating a conflict between patient and the doctor or nurse. There and then, a conflict comes up for just nothing, just because we do not interact well. I'm so excited and glad that in the medical schools they are beginning to teach social work. Maybe there is a course in that. I saw on one of the syllabi for the medical schools, they are beginning to say, put in a course of psychology. It's not yet enough, but at least there is something, so that we can understand one another. So, Rotarians, leaders without pay. They are trying to teach medics to create a group of people called medics without pay. And that spirit of medics without pay can take care of 50% of our problems that rise into conflict. Because when you look at it, most of the fights begin with money. All universities, public universities now are on strike. Do you know that? Except, I think, Mountains of the Moon, because it is in Toro. Do you see what I'm talking about? Good is on strike, Solid is on strike, Bishop University is on strike, Kabura is on strike for petrol. We are teaching, and we are asking, what's happening there? No conflict. It's so unfortunate. We lack conflict, and that explains some of the losses we incur. I'm not inciting you to become violent, but I'm inviting you to be part of the conflict. Kabwetahia. Kakoraki? Kabwetahia. Where you hear a neighbor's house is on fire and you're the first one there. Who is telling a story like that? I'm not. Yeah, you're the first one there. Is it correct? Someone asks you the owner of the house, is it correct? Now who will they talk? I heard noise, I heard your wife crying, and therefore I'm here to save her. Conflict as opportunity for growth. The neighbor comes, finds you fighting, and that could be the beginning day, the first day of a good relationship, having a good neighbor. Because you begin to ask, why did this person come? It seems this person cares for me. I should do the same. Conflict, opportunity for growth. This week, there's big talk between America and the British government over the European market and the American market. There's conflict. This conflict has brought this crazy man all the way from America to come to Britain to have some discussion. Why? The pound has been going up. The euro is going up. The dollar is going down. So there's a market conflict there, which the man who called mad, the president of America, has looked at this conflict and is now beginning negotiation. Conflict can be opportunity for growth. The war in Ukraine is not going to leave Europe as it used to be. The war in Gaza is an opportunity for growth for both Israel and Palestine. Because a lot of information we didn't know, now we know that these people are able to talk. So can we pick from those bigger pictures to the local pictures? What conflicts, what major conflicts have we had in the past 10 years here in Fr.Dr.Pascal? Any? I've had conflicts. Tribal conflicts? Clear? What? Are you at all tribalistic? Those of you who are old enough, you must have had me have a big argument with someone big in Burma, where he was insisting that the Batoro are conflictual, they are tribalistic, and I invited him that one of these days, you and I, let us walk through Malibu Road, and I will prove you wrong. You know what is in Malibu Road? Even the Batoro are tribalistic, that street would be different. You can walk through there, and you will hear people speak languages you don't understand. So, anyways, we can have a debate on that, but what we are talking about is the leaders taking opportunity of conflicts, identifying what conflicts they are, and therefore use those opportunities as opportunities of growth, of change, of negotiation, of discussion, of building stronger relationships. Now, there has been a conflict here, very traumatizing. Someone died here. But this is the tip of our iceberg. I have relatives working in this hospital. They always tell us stories. They tell us. Some of us, if we wanted to know, I would be able to say, come and show me who is picking money from people. These are some of the faces. We know them. But it had to take someone to die for even the leaders, the paid leaders, to come out and do something. But we are now lucky that the unpaid leaders, the Rotary Club, is taking interest. I hope this is the beginning, not the only time. your input should be not to point out only the mistakes that they are, but also to comfort these people for the stress they go through. I've spoken to some of the doctors who tell me, I want to come and work, but sometimes I don't find any gloves. And the people want me to do something, but I cannot. So I would rather not go. The Rotary Club, I know, has donated a lot of stuff here. But do we follow up military care? It's not enough to dump beds and mattresses here. I know we got a big donation when we were beginning that psychiatric unit. I was one of the founders. I solicited for mattresses. But how many times have I followed up to see if the mattresses are there anyways? So that's why I say, you have heard of the conflict here. Mweja kuilkira, to comfort these people, maybe to comfort the population. The news will go on that the Rotary Club of Fort Potro has gone to comfort the medical workers in Buhinga. But how are the consumers comforted? They are only to be comforted when the president makes a statement that we have committed ourselves every 3 months. We shall be meeting at Buhinga to comfort, but we are also ensuring that whatever our input in Buhinga, we shall be visiting to see how it's being utilized. That's the leadership of Rotary, the unpaid leadership. Unpaid leadership is infectious. How? In the old days, when we were growing up, our age, those born before independence, I think we are about 4 of us. 5. I think we are 4. Yeah, I have 3 there, and I'm the only. Okay, yes. Yeah. The president was born after independence. So the 4 of us born before independence, there was such a thing called Burundwansi. And Burundwansi, each one would make the road on his kibanja, on his plot of land, stops here, and then another one begins there, and another one over there. You would look ashamed when they come and they see your part is not done. Or making a bridge, or hunting for pigs that were destroying crops. Make a drum, everybody comes, and then you go. So that once philosophy is gone, replaced by per diem, replaced by overtime, replaced by offs. So, dear leaders of the Rotary Club, revive that philosophy. It's purely African, it's very valuable, and it's dying. Because in the homes it's not there. So once in a while, if you interact with these people and instill the spirit of common good, bring once, it will be precious. Leaders are the ones who run head first towards danger. We here have been named Kitandugahu. If someone had spoken, if someone had taken a risk, maybe Chigamba would be alive. Because he's not the first one to die here. There are people who have been mismanaged even before. And in a worse situation, with him maybe something was done. But there have been people who have been mishandled and someone didn't speak. And because they didn't speak, they avoided danger. and by avoiding danger, they failed their leadership role. Both the professional leadership and also the community leadership, which is presented now with the Rotary. So the leaders rush for danger. If someone had been endangered by being hated, we wouldn't be where we are. But because both the professional leaders and external leaders were not paying attention, we are where we are. But this can be an opportunity for progress, the conflict. The other day when I was at Winga Primary School, we were talking about the conflict between the head teacher and the teachers. And I asked them, do you want to be separated or do you want to be reconciled? The same question I put to you.